Hey, everybody. I hope and pray that you're doing well today as we come to our word from the Word. And today, that word is covering. Covering. Loved how yesterday we talked about Moses keeping his composure. And today, we're going to even see a little bit more of that as they're preparing to set out. And there's this, I pray again that you would read all of chapter 10. You see them getting ready to set out and they wait on the Lord. And there's another reference here is that every time that they went out, they waited on the presence of the Lord to let them know how far they were to go, how long they were to stay there. As long as the presence of the Lord stayed there, they stayed there. When the presence got up, when the cloud or the fire set out ahead of them, then they followed behind. And it's a great picture of us following the will of God and the timing of God. And man, we could really talk a lot about that. But I want us to focus today, Numbers chapter 10, verses 35 and 36, right there at the end of chapter 10. And it picks up there. Let's start actually in verse 34. It says, and the cloud of the Lord was above them by day when they went out from the camp. So that shows us even then. So it was in verse 35, whenever the ark set out, that Moses said, rise up, O Lord, let your enemies be scattered, and let those who hate you flee before you. And when it rested, he said, return, O Lord, to the many thousands of Israel. Now, to me, see this covering that our word for today is covering, that I think it's just really a simple but sincere prayer. God, go before us. And then God, after you've gone before us and we come back and we're settled, God, protect us while we're here. I mean, that's just a simple prayer. God, go before us today. I mean, how would our lives be different? How would our days be different if we started each day saying, Lord, don't let me go any further than you'd have me to go. Don't let me stay any longer than you'd have me to stay. God, go before me. And even to pray the same, Lord, anybody that hates you, I pray that your enemies would be scattered. Lord, that they would run at your name. Because look, as we're going ahead, as we're moving ahead, as the Lord leads, then those who oppose him will run and flee. Just the same as if we resist Satan, right? We keep our eyes focused on God, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. That's why we can even join with Moses in this prayer saying, God, go before us. And then, Lord, when you settle in, when you tell us to stay, when you tell us to stay right where we're at, Lord, keep us safe. Return to us, that your presence would be right there with us in all that we do. Now, just stop and think for a moment if that was your prayer each morning and even each evening. God, be with me today. Go ahead of me today. And then as you come back and you're settled back in at home, God, be with me here. Protect me here. Keep me close and clean here where I am. And not just physically speaking, but spiritually. Lord, I pray that I would go as far spiritually speaking as you would have me to go, that you would keep me and protect me as we know, as Paul talks about in Ephesians 6, that is a spiritual war going on everywhere. Everywhere we go physically, there's a spiritual battle going on for our minds and for our hearts, for our desires, that we would put on that full armor of God. God, protect us. And I guess if we're really honest, a lot of times it is those moments where we're most comfortable, where when he's saying stay and we're patiently waiting, but sometimes as we begin waiting, that idleness sometimes gets us in trouble. Just as we saw earlier in our story, as we were there in Exodus, and you see the Israelites getting Moses getting the 10 Commandments, and he's been gone for 40 days, and in their idleness, they turned and made a golden calf led by Aaron. I wonder how many times we do the same thing while we're waiting on God and even praying for his protection, that we take our eyes off of him and think, well, maybe he's not speaking to me anymore. Maybe because he hasn't told me anything. Maybe I've done something wrong and now I need to do something else. But if we'll just wait on the presence of the Lord. I mean, the whole camp was moving with the presence of God. You read chapter 10, it talks about it. Every time it went, we went, whether it was a day or several months, we would follow his command. We would follow his presence. And just for us today to be praying a prayer of a covering. Lord, a covering over my life, a covering over my family's life, our church family, friends, co-workers. Lord, that you would shelter those lost people who need to see you. Lord, keep them from getting further away from you. I pray that they would see you. Whatever the case may be, I wonder how our lives would be different if we just simply prayed for that covering each and every day. It's definitely something to think about, and most definitely and most certainly something to pray about. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.